All right, we're talking Xfinity at Watkins Glen, and I understand. I'm at this point, it's a freaking Cup Series race at Watkins Glen. All right, like let's just take a look real fast at the heavy hitters. Bushwhacking. Everybody was mad at Kyle Busch because Kyle ruined the Xfinity Series. Oh, but who's in this race? We got Chastain, we got Larson, we got Cole Custer, we got William Byron, we got AJ. I mean, basically, come on, AJ is a Cup driver at this point. Like, these guys are insane. This is an insanely stacked field. And the good thing is, when it comes to the good guys in this race, we don't have to worry about them hitting before the stages. Or, my bad, staying out at the end of the stages, because these guys are all here to get laps and to win this race. Larson is going to compete for the win. AJ going to compete for the win. Ty Gibbs going to compete for the win. Outside of that, Bryson is pretty darn soft. I know Byron's at 10-1. Chastain's at 9-9. Custer's at 9-8. Then you got Austin Hill at 9-6 and Justin Allgaier at 9-4. And it pretty much drops off a cliff from there, looking at the line of construction, looking at how I want to approach this race, looking at just getting an idea of how I think lineups are going to look like come Saturday following the qualifying. I think I can easily grab two 10K guys and easily make it work. I want to add on that we have a gigantic field trying to make this race. And I was thinking, I'm not really sure what's causing that many people to be in this race. I was like, where are all these cars coming from? But then I was like, oh no, it's not like random scrubs showing up here. You got to remember that, look, Hendrick basically has two cars this week. You know, the 88 is, look, they're both running at HendrickCars.com, and we can understand that they're pretty much junior motorsports cars, you know. But we got Larson in the 88, we got Byron in the 17. Those are two good cars that we typically don't see in the Xfinity Series. And so just looking at it and being like, oh man, we got tons of these loser ringers in here. No, not at all. Two cars or two spots in this field that we don't normally see that will be in this race because they are going to qualify in on time. Let's not kid ourselves. Are coming from good cars and good equipment. And the reason why that is important is because it makes the value range and the lower end of the salary cap, or the salary range, excuse me, I got to cough real fast. It makes the lower end of the salaries this week very interesting and makes it pretty easy to build lines. Okay, so let's just talk about the bottom part here. And so we got Jesse Iwuji in here, okay? Just saying, $4,600. Brad Perez, $4,500. Not expecting a whole lot from these guys, but look, honestly, Iwuji is priced to where he should be. And I've joked about it before, and we've talked about it before, but Jesse is so slow that he's not going to be involved in anything. I know he was so slow that he literally wrecked Gibbs under yellow at Portland, but him at $4,600 is doable. At the moment, I haven't bothered checking to see if he has a naval commitment or if he's going to qualify or practice or whatever NASCAR is going to let him do. We'll find out Saturday. Don't really care at the moment right now of what Jesse Iwuji is doing Saturday. Just put it out there that him priced at $4,600 is priced at what he should be at. Okay, and I would not be shocked to see Jesse finish 26, just doing nothing after starting last. Okay, we got Scott Hecker, BJ McLeod, $4,700. Not bad. Chris Wright, a man that if you have watched me for any period of time, at least long enough to get through a couple Truck Series road courses, a couple Xfinity Series road courses over the last 2 years, you'll hear me talk about Chris Wright. How much I want to play Chris Wright. How good the guy is and how bad the guy is at getting involved in wrecks late in the race. I don't understand why he does that. I don't understand why he can't just make it through a race and not get involved. It would make our jobs a lot easier, make my life less stressful. But Chris Wright, for $4,800, I understand he's in the 68 machine from Brandon Brown, but like, come on, man. Chris Wright in this car, he's going to elevate that car. He should at least be $5,800. He's a discount. J.J. Ailey, $4,900. Very easy to see him working out. Just depends on what vehicle they're bringing. Just depends on what he's doing in terms of speed. But we'll figure that out Thursday and Saturday. Okay, at that point, we have at least, and by bare minimum, somebody in this 4K range is going to make the race. I would argue probably about 3 of them in this range gonna make the race. Don't know if I'm gonna go to Spencer, but Stanton, And then my common car, first guy that I'm concerned about not making the field in on speed, Stephen Parsons, making his, I forgot what number start this is, but after he left BJ McLeod Motorsports earlier this year, came over to announce that he was doing the rest of his season at Alpha Beta Prime Racing. Parsons, $1,500. I'm perfectly fine with that. Okay, I don't like Blaine Perkins. I'd much rather prefer to play somebody lower than him. But Perkins, $5,300 is fine. Bailey Kerr's going to do a good job. We already know that. He's mispriced at $5,400. Timmy Hill, $56. Austin Wayne Self in a secondary Jordan Anderson car. I think Austin Wayne Self elevates that. We've seen it before that Austin Wayne Self is a pretty good road courser. Okay, in the truck series, we might not really see his name a lot, in the broadcast. We might not necessarily take time to look in the data, but Austin Wayne Self is pretty good at these road courses. Okay, in the truck series, I think he's fine. Certainly in this machine, he can elevate that and easily be a top 20 contender. At this point, we're at $5,800, and we have taken out maybe 3 or 4 guys. Like Gallagher, let's see, very much on the fence, but Stanton, not going to play. Spencer, not going to play. Brad Perez, not going to play. Outside of that, I think everybody's in play at the bottom. It just depends on where they start and what they're showing in terms of speed and what cars they're bringing. Let's see if I can discover the chassis. Let's see if I can discover if they actually have a real sponsor or if it's money laundering money. Whatever the case may be, it's very easy to chase guys who are going to be running inside the top 10 today or on Saturday. It's going to be very easy to play guys who are going to be some of the highest scoring drivers. Like if we have an expensive guy who is chalk, we can easily play him on top of the main lap leader, who will most likely be somebody in the 5K or in the 10K range. Like Balicki, $5,800. I don't have to tell you that Balicki is a good road course driver. Okay, I don't have to tell you that. By this point, we're nearing the 6s, we're nearing the 7s, nearing the 8s. This slate is wide open. I would argue, and it's not the fact that everybody is viable. I'm not saying that. I'm saying based on the situations that we see people in post-qualifying for your value plays that you need to just fit in the guys you want to chase, which is most likely 2 10K guys, possibly a 9 or an 8K guy who is going to contend for the race on top of your other 2 expensive guys, or 2 guys in the 9K range that are going to be lap leaders, 1 10K guy who's a place differential play, and most likely probably ending up back in the 8K range, going to like Sheldon Creed, going to like Josh Berry, going to Sammy Smith, who's going to get track time on Friday in the ARCA race. Andy Lally, $7,200. Alex LeBay, $71. Kaz Grala, $68. This slate, it's almost like nobody has a salary. Okay, with the open end of the salary at the bottom, makes you be able to play whoever. I'm not just saying that. It's how this race goes. Right now, you can mark out everybody's name. You can mark out everybody's prices. Okay, understand that you probably need a 5 or a 4K driver to fit in your main guys. And that's it. And the reason I'm saying that is let's take a look at the optimal lines real fast. And Pearce has done this a bit in his video, but I'm just going to run through it real quick. Let's just look at the salaries real fast. I'm not necessarily going to talk about drivers. I'm going to talk about salary construction here. Okay, because I think these are great examples of how I want to try and build these races. So Indy, 10-1, 10-2, 10-3, 76, 64, $5,000. Road America, 11-3, 11-8, 9-2, 7-4, 52, 4,500. Okay, Coda, 10-5, 9-9, 7-8, 7-6, 7-2, 6-2. Okay, let's go ahead and take a gander at Portland. Okay, 10-6, 10-5, 7-7, 7-6, 6-8, 65. These are salaries that we are seeing right now. We are understanding that we're probably going to have 2 10K guys in the optimal line. Whether they be lap leaders, whether they be place differential plays, you can make it work. And this is showing that we don't necessarily have to dip all the way to the 5 or 7K range, but I'm just showing you what these are looking like. Let's get in and just kind of blow through some of these optimal lines. I understand some of these are COVID lines, and so they were priced accordingly based on the metric. But let's just take a look at 2021 Daytona Road Course. 10-7, 10,000, 9,000, 82, 61, 47. Another 210K guy lineup. Let's look at Coda 2021. 10-8, 10-4, 9-3, 7-4, 63, 57, 2 10K guys. Ohio 2021. 10-7, 9-7, 9-1, 8-9, 65, 5-1. Let's go ahead and look at Indy from last year, okay? We got 10-5, 94, 87, 83, 5,000, and 4,900, okay? So, look, we're dipping in the 5K range on Saturday. I am ready for it. I understand it. It is wide open. We can play these guys, okay? We got huge mispricings at the bottom. I would honestly look at this race at being decided at the bottom. That is where the GPPs are going to be decided. That is where the really like any type of line of construction, we can get different up top. We can play whatever 10K guy you want to play, but it all comes down to what value drivers make that work. And right now, anybody in the 4K, mostly anybody in the 5K range, I can see being viable. It just depends on where they qualify. It just depends on what speed they are looking at. I understand this isn't necessarily a picks video, but this is where I'm at Thursday evening looking at the Xfinity Series race at Watkins Glen and looking at how I'm going to build lines, or at least trying to project how I want to start building lines. Maybe not necessarily on DraftKings points, but just goofing around, seeing how the salaries kind of end up at, seeing the areas we're in. I'm looking at 2 10K guys, man. Like, it's absolutely stacked. Larson, AJ Gibbs, Byron Chastain. 2 of those guys are being optimal. There's no way they aren't, At least one guy in this range for sure. But I think it's 2 based on how these salaries are. It's a shorter one. 12 minutes, not necessarily looking at certain guys. But I'm not hugely concerned about any driver or any certain team bringing bad equipment. We can see the practice. We can see the cars. We've seen it this year that these guys aren't necessarily bringing start and park machines to these road course events, okay? So that is not an issue that we have. We're seeing, I know Austin Wayne Self is Austin Wayne Self, and I know Jordan Anderson I know his cars are very meh, but $5,700, that's a misprice, and that's a good car. Okay, Patrick Gallagher, 55, the C car, that's going to be a good car. Bailey Curry, Johnny Davis, $54 on a road course, that's going to be a good car. Parsons, we know that's going to be a good car. Okay, that's where I'm at right now, man. This looks like a really, really fun slate to build for, just because I think everybody's in play at the moment. Clearly, I want to focus on where they qualify. I want to focus on the potential from the value ranges of who can get place differential points. So that's really where I'm at, okay? So tune in Saturday. See who I like by then. Come in, support us through some super chats or donations our way, and consider joining the Patreon next month. Because I don't think you're going to join mid-month right now, so consider joining next month if this helps you in any form or fashion. I will see you in the live shows this weekend.